Hey everyone, I'm Mitchell Charles, and this is Worms Reloaded's Puzzle Pack, a DLC that was added 1 year after Worms Reloaded's premiere on Steam. It's a DLC that adds 20 missions that are akin to puzzles, and some of them have some stinky cheese in them. As I have level 1 selected here, I'm gonna exit out of it, and time's gonna start when I hit continue, going to the first level. So 3, 2, 1, let's go. First off, we have, in my opinion, the most important mechanic in the entirety of Worms series. Grave damage. Worms dying on land explode leaving graves behind. That grave can deal up to 25 damage. In case of casual games, it can change tides. In case of missions, it can clear them. And here we have the first mission with cheese involved. I'm gonna try a marathon-friendly strat though, by collecting this lightning strike crate first. And here we have... Okay, I didn't quite get it. There's a small sliver in the terrain here, and this pencil question mark, where I can deal exactly 10 damage. And because the enemy has 10 damage, that would be fatal. However, I'm gonna do a backup strat for this. Using lightning strike on myself here adds 30 health, which is gonna be enough for me to go to Enigma by teleporting. And I should have dynamite already selected. So 90 health. So I get hit with dynamite, that's 65, plus 25 from grave, and I should be able to survive this. There you go. If I don't deploy the lightning strike, I will die. Next up is number 3. Some missions are named after achievements that are available on Steam. The economical being I have to have at least 1 weapon remaining in my inventory after I clear the run, not counting skip and surrender. So over here I used drill to get down, because drill can also negate fall damage. Batting the 2 worms, bunch of patterns can happen here. Rarely all 3 worms can die by grave damage, but that doesn't really matter because it's happening in strike.
Very well, good sirs.
Pretty much that. Next up is one of the toughest missions in this pack. I like to call this magnetized nade. As you saw in the inventory, literally the only thing I have is a magnet, bat, and grenade. I'm going to throw the magnet. Bat it so that it lands below brain teaser. I think that should be this. After batting the magnet, I'm gonna fall down here, just so I can set up the grenade shot to be somewhat consistent, hopefully. Brain teaser has nothing, so they will just skip turns. And let's see if I'm gonna get this. Pretty specific shot. Multiple things can happen here. Thankfully, I got it first try. But yeah, there have been a lot of resets in this map, in this mission, so thankfully I got it first time. Next up, we have another bit of cheese here. Firing the sheep here, exploding it on the the point where 2 borders meet.
Entertainers.
The enemy again has nothing. So just gonna skip turns, and I'm gonna throw successor of the Mad Cows, the Buffalo of Lies. It's going to collect this airstrike crate, and blowing up 2 walls, and collecting these ferrets. But that's gonna be useless because 1 explosion, 2 explosion, pause, and I reset. That makes an explosion, apparently. Something, the buffalo after resetting, it's still on the map for 1 frame, which is enough for the explosion to happen. a ridiculous glitch.
Entertainers.
But that explosion is just enough for me to fire another buffalo of lice. And that'll be enough to plop Perplex. The two crates here, the airstrike and ferrets. Airstriking, I would have to blow up this thin wall here, and then ferrets would collect this crate, which has a super bunker buster, which would plop Perplex, but I have better ways to do this. And moving on. Next up is Damage Dodger, another mission where this time I'm not supposed to take fall damage, any damage at all. Triggering this mine here and retreating. Am I gonna retreat on time? Okay, still will. Thought I messed that up. But yeah, jumping down here. And I'm going to fire punch my way to get this jetpack. Now, Dilemma has shotguns. I retreated in a way where Dilemma doesn't really have a point blank shot on me. So they're just gonna skip. Using the jet here, I'm gonna get this blowtorch crate. And, well, blowtorches can be used as a defensive weapon, so, Dilemma, sleeping with the fishes, and we're moving on. This one's pretty tough. We need to use a magnet to repel airstrike missiles. But first we need to collect that. So here's one crate of an airstrike, teleporting to the next crate, which has the magnet. Just some dead air as well, and teleporting my way to the question mark made out of smoke. And I'm going to place a magnet. There's the visual indicator for this. There's a visual cue for this, but I think it's this. And then right as I stand, because I don't retreat, firing an airstrike here. And that should hopefully, with two missiles, one of them hit there, and the other one is just going to land on Daze. Daze can sometimes plop, depending on where I place the magnet, but that's good enough. And we're moving on. Next up we have the meme weapon of olive worms. So if there's a live audience somewhere in here, you can sing along. Kaboom. So this holy nade makes me tackle two of the enemy worms, and yeah. That's really the entire mission. Now, for some reason in this mission, I do not take damage. 300 damage there. But yeah, there you go. That's the entire mission. Now, next up, this mission has two different routes, but because I'd like to give the reader some time, I'm just gonna do this. In the meantime, I'll say some history about Worms Reloaded speedrunning. The first run was made by Powdinet, doing campaign with level skips in 13 minutes 14 seconds. Then there was me, who did Time Attack DLC, which is the first one I've ever done. Then I did Puzzle Pack, which is this, and now Picky 1802 sniped me on Time Attack and did a campaign of no skips, and so that's cool. Next up is Brass Dolphins, or at least that's what I would like to call it. Charles has 10 health, Phantom has 20. With Charles, I'm going to get up using the rope here. I'm gonna hook on one of the dolphins' mouths, and I'm going to mess this up. I did mess that up a little bit.
Sir, you are a card.
You know what? That's just a reset. I'm not sure if that... I don't know how that happened, but okay. So again, Charles needs to get his way onto the other dolphin's fin. Wing and a miss here again. Okay, there you go, that'll do. I hope. There you... Okay, that'll do. I timed out, but that's fine. So Mystify has nothing. They'll just skip turns. Phantom has a bat. Now. Bat is gonna deal 30 damage. So Mystify will remain with 30 health. No, 20 health, sorry. 20. Because of this, for those who have paid attention about grave damages, because Charles has 10 health, we're gonna fall down. That's gonna be fatal amount of damage. So with that, Charles is just gonna grave damage Mystify, and that's the entire mission.
Very well, good sirs.
And we're moving on. Next up is number 11. This one has some stinky cheese. Let's see if I can get this. First try. Okay. Never had a run. I think I never. No, I did have a run where I get that first try. Okay. Sure. There's the backup strat for that level as well, in case that messes up. But I hardly ever had to use it. Next up is number 12. Backflip Apex. At the backflip Apex of this, I just fire punch. That just knocks the enemy worm straight to the drain. That landed pretty well. Just do that. Another fire punch there. That's pretty much the entire mission. Next up is this mission. The crate in the bottom left corner has an earthquake. However, we have found a way to not use it. So backflip once, firing a bunker buster to make a plot hole. Blow torching my way to snooker here, and I have a shotgun. Done. That's the entire mission. Y'all have missed an earthquake here. Next up is homing boost. This one is one of the toughest levels here, because we are going to be boosting ourselves to weapons, and because we have 250 health and no way to heal ourselves, we need to be careful what we're doing. So the first turn here was kind of scripted, because all I need to do was just hold jump. This crate I'm not supposed to collect, because I'll be using it to boost myself. This part of the island here. You can still look at my health counter here. So follow down here, we get 3 crates. That's gonna be 2 torches and a holy nade. And we will be using that. I'm gonna blowtorch my way out of here. Get this crate, which contains a homing missile. I'm gonna stand in a semi-specific spot here. Falling out from this barrel here, that should be good enough. And yeah, just boosting my way on top of this island. That's because I haven't found any better way to get across for now. So I've only found this to be the most consistent. But yeah, now with 27 health remaining, which is still enough, I'm gonna fall down here. Still not dead. We're at 15. And finally, to clear this, because the objective is to kill the enemy worm, blowtorch my way to Enigma. Just throw a hole in it. Of course, audience can sing along. Enigma slips with fishes. And we're moving on. Next up is Lightfoot. There used to be one strat where involved getting on top of this roof here, but I found this to be pretty much the same pace. So I'm gonna use a different strat. I'm gonna use the usual strat here. parachuting my way to the other island here. I'm just gonna fall down. Because I only have one parachute. That is gonna cost me a turn and fall damage, but I can tank it. Now the next turn here, I'm gonna place a mine, not a dynamite.
Entertainers.
I mean, either can happen, but I found mine to be the most consistent here. So I'm going to trigger this mine here. Run away. Rope my way. To bewilder, I almost lost it. And just bat him straight to sea. And that's it. Next up is number 16. We have a bunch of mines on the back of this whale. 1, 2 long jumps. Wherever I was standing and place a repelling electromagnet. Because there are 2 magnets here, and you will be seeing them eventually in the next mission. The blue one is repelling, red one is attracting. So after this electromagnet, I'm gonna prod it, and we're gonna see this happen. 1, 2, 3 mines, and I gotta get hit once, but that's fine. I have 50 health. I can tank this. So Mind Masher here is gonna remain with 35 health remaining, if I remember correctly. Yes. And maybe thinking if this is a failure. Not really, because I have 1 rope. How did I fail this? Okay, well, I have 1 rope. I'll rope my way across the Mind Masher, and rope my way across the Mind Masher, and I'll just blowtorch them twice, and that'll be the entire mission. But I failed to do that, so I'm just gonna repeat this. And I guess every time I fail a mission, and I already explained the premise of it, that'll be a good time to read donations, as always. 1, 2, 3 mines. Get hit again. Alright, let's not fail this now. There you go. Now I'm blowtorching to the right because I found this to be the most consistent. It's also because I have no retreat time. So to make sure Mind Masher doesn't grave damage me, I'm just gonna move Mind Masher out of position.
Oh,
And that's the entire mission.
very well, good sirs.
And next up is 50. You have 2 ally teams for some reason. I can move with one of them. But I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna skip that though. And with me, I'm going to rope my way with this crate, which has a holy nade again. And I'm just gonna throw this nade. I'm gonna plop myself. But this is gonna cause a big old chain reaction here. And, well, sometimes this can fail because RNG mines or something, I don't know. Basically the idea is this blocker is gonna trigger enough mines that the next part of the chain reaction will happen where a set of mines will get attracted to the enemy. Not the entire mission. As you can see, sometimes that can fail. There you go, retracting magnet here. And that's pretty much the entire mission. And because I can still move with Alpha here, That apparently counted as a victory. I don't know why, but yeah, that's why I can get away with flopping myself here. Next up is number 18. We're gonna have a yeah. So this one has a blowtorch, which has a visual cue.
Sweet lady surprise.
Shotgunning my way to the next area, and I just messed that up. Yeah, I know why. I didn't drop down. That's fine. That's fine. That doesn't really lose any time. So now blowtorching my way to this mine. So that mine blew up this barrel, which is a big ol' explosion, enough for it to be for the terrain here. And now we have a bunker buster, which is going to be repelled by this magnet. And it's interesting how that bunker buster changed angle. But we're using that to make another tunnel for ourselves. As our final move is just as our final two moves is just gonna be blowtorching my way to Quest. I'm going to be now throwing a Powdinet here. Of course, audience can sing along. That's pretty much the entire mission, because that should be a fair amount of damage.
Very well, good sirs.
Alright, next up is one of the tougher missions in here as well. Also run killer, because it's number 19. Ain't got time to speed. We have a somewhat specific airstrike here. Which is going to, with 2 airstrike missiles, is going to make a tiny hole, which is enough for this next trick to work, which I'm going to place a girder on the level with, line it up on the level of the ground that's on me, and on the corner where the radius assist denies me to place girders. And now I'm going to just bat mystery onto the pile of mines here. Now multiple things can happen here, such as this. Ideally you want mystery plopping, but that hopefully that's fatal amount of damage. Yes, good. Yeah, sometimes that can fail, but we got one of the better outcomes here. And next up is number 20. We have the biggest cheese in this map, and because this is the final level, actually no, I'm gonna explain this. So first off, there's like a lot of magnets and like a lot of parachutes involved. I'm not doing any of this. Instead, you may notice that I do not have any hats equipped. That's because I'm using eyebrows as a visual cue for this shot. So conundrum landing straight on my face. As I'm going to backflip my way onto him. And bad M time's gonna be on the congratulations screen. What? Well, that's a new one. That's not fair. What? Okay, that's a new one. Map and luck exists, I guess. Well, you know what? I have teleport and punch, so you know what? I may as well. That's my shoutouts. I'd like to give a shout out, of course, to the Worm Spear and Discord server. Primarily, Ruffle Bricks, Mapblack, Psychotropic, and Toby Trigger. If anyone's interested in speedrunning any game from the Worm series, please join that server. You can the link to it can be found on speedrun.com/worms. Time's gonna be on the congratulations screen. Time. There you go. That is with an estimate of 30 minutes. Previously I had an estimate of 45 minutes, but that's not bad, I guess. Number 20 was just weird. What was that ending? Well, anyway. Yeah, that's pretty much within estimate. If I'm still gonna have time, I can show a couple alternative strategies, such as number 9. There's a very fast strat for number 9. There's also a... there's number 5 glitchless. And there was one more, but I forget. But yeah, there are a couple strats that can be shown after the run here. So there you go. That is a cleared speed run. It's just that I finished it slower than my personal best, and that's fine, because sometimes that's not required. It's just required that I fit in within a certain amount of estimate. Okay, so there you go. That is that. So let's get the marathon going.